Hey, what's up everyone? It's the Machine, and today I got a headquarters gameplay for you guys on Shoot House, which was just added into Call of Duty Modern Warfare this past Friday. And today I wanted to talk to you guys about not only the new maps, but all the other changes that were made by Infinity Ward to Modern Warfare and the newest patch which dropped on Friday, November 8th. I'm going to leave the patch notes linked in the description below just in case anybody wants to check them out. So let's first start with Shoot House. After a few hours of playing Shoot House in the Shoot House 24/7 playlist, I can confidently say that this is my new favorite map in the game. But it's not like it's up against any real competition if we're being honest here, with the likes of Euphrates Bridge and Piccadilly still in the map pool for this game for some fucking reason. One issue that does stick out to me about the map so far is the spawns. But just as long as they fix the spawns sometime soon, this map really is a nice change of pace as you can actually run around and have some fun on it, unlike all the other maps in the game where you have to mount and lean around a corner and wait for somebody to run across your screen. One last thing I do have to say about Shoot House is, while I did enjoy playing it more than fucking Arklov Peak, it was annoying as fuck constantly joining games in progress where the other team had gunships and VTOLs up while I was trying to play solo in the 24/7 playlist. And so if I was you guys, I would definitely either party up and play the 24/7 playlist or just wait until you get Shoot House in a regular game mode, because that 24/7 playlist is not only sweaty as fuck, but you're coming up against full parties all the time. And that just kind of kills the experience that you can have on this map, which is honestly, right now, the best map in the game. Easily, hands down. But as much of a clusterfuck as Shoot House can be at times, it is definitely a step in the right direction for Modern Warfare, and I really hope that more 3-lane maps, as well as some of the remastered maps from other COD games, will really bring some fun to Modern Warfare that is lacking right now. Also added in this patch was a ground war map that's called Krovnik Farmland, which I haven't played yet because, to be honest, I'm not really trying to die to fucking idiots that just abuse tanks the whole game. But free maps is always good, and if Infinity Ward wants to keep this game alive, then they really need to keep new maps coming and coming, because right now, the maps that are in the game simply aren't good enough, and with bad maps, this game is not fun to play. In the patch, they also added Hardpoint as a playlist, which is good to hear, because in Hardpoint, people might actually move around the map instead of just sitting in buildings the whole time. And Hardpoint has always been one of my favorite game modes in COD, so expect to see some gameplay of that coming to the channel very soon. But now let's talk about the weapon changes and other gameplay tweaks that Infinity Ward made in this update. Most important of these, in my opinion, being made to Claymores, which I can now say are nowhere near as overpowered as they were before this update. But it's only really a matter of time before all the camping pussies just adapt and switch out their 2 Claymores for 2 proximity mines. Not only did this update reduce the blast radius of Claymores, but they also made it so you have to be much closer for the Claymore to actually trigger and explode. And with these changes, I can actually sleep at night without Claymores haunting me in my sleep. And this is a good thing, because I can't tell you the amount of times I've died to some maniac's random-ass Claymore when I was one off a kill streak or whatever. Point is, Claymores are annoying as fuck, and I'm glad that they're worse than they were, because before it was ridiculous. Along with the changes to Claymores, they also buffed the EOD perk, so if you do happen to trip someone's Claymore or other explosive, you will actually be able to survive it every time instead of just random 50-50 shot whether you live or not, which is good, but it's not like anyone actually uses the EOD perk anyways, since they all have fucking overkill on. And that brings me to my biggest problem with this patch, the air quotes nerf to the 7.25. The 7.25 had its range reduced and its spread increased, but it is still retardedly strong, and you will still see entire lobbies running overkill with an AR and a 7.25 shotgun sniper secondary that you can use to one-hit kill somebody from absolutely ridiculous ranges. Sure, it's not as bad as it was before, but really the range reduction only moved it in one step. You'll still get mapped by a fucking shotgun, and that needs to be changed. Every single time I die to a 7.25, I actually projectile vomit all over my goddamn setup, so please, Infinity Ward, nerf this fucking gun's range some more, so I don't have to keep wiping vomit off my monitor after every single time I play the game. Thanks. Another gun that caught a nerf in this update was every sweat's favorite gun, the M4. The damage of the M4 was reduced, and its recoil was increased slightly, but to me it still feels like this is one of the best assault rifles in the game. But I suppose these changes definitely made the other ARs more viable and competitive with the M4. Also in this patch, every SMG in the game caught a buff, which is really good news, because before they were really kind of pointless, and after getting a chance to use them since the update, I can say I actually have some hope that one day we might actually be able to rush around with an SMG in this game and do well. Hopefully, once some of the classic remastered maps get added to the game, you'll see more people using SMGs and moving around the map like you used to do in other COD games, instead of just sitting back in buildings, leaning with assault rifles around corners, because the pace at which you have to play this game is so painfully slow. I do have to admit that there has been times when I've been playing Modern Warfare and I've fallen asleep mid-game because everyone is just camping in a window, myself included, waiting for the other people to move, because the first person that moves in this game is more than likely going to be the one that dies. Other changes were also made to update the movement speed, which is now back to the beta movement speed, and your character can actually move around the map like a normal fucking human being instead of being some groggy, sleepwalking asshole. Along with increasing the movement speed, another change that got made was to the in-game character callouts, which before the patch, your character would just call out X-ray spotted every time a player's toe crossed your screen, and it would call out your position and get you killed. Now, they actually fixed that, so the enemy team can't hear your players' callouts as loud, and your character doesn't even make them as much, which is really good to hear, because trying to sneak up on people before was fucking AIDS. Another two major issues with the game got addressed in this patch, and that is footsteps and the visibility and the lighting on the maps, which, in my opinion, are both reasons why people play so fucking slow in this game, because before, you couldn't run around the map without fear of being heard, and you couldn't see people that were camping in dark-ass buildings or leaning out of windows, etc. Now, the footsteps are definitely in a better place than they were before this patch, but I still feel like they need to be lowered a bit more, just so people aren't at a complete disadvantage for trying to move around the map. The lighting, I have to say I really didn't notice too much of a change, but I really only played Shoot House, so I can't really speak about this change from my own experience. But hopefully now it's easier to see little Billy sitting in his dark-ass second-story room than it was pre-patch, where you would just die and have absolutely no clue where you got shot from until you watched the kill cam and saw some camping degenerate with 2 claymores blocking both entrances just pre-aiming out a window as you ran right at them but couldn't see them because the room is so fucking dark. Overall, I would say that I kind of was let down by this patch, if I'm being honest, but that's probably because I still get the 7.25 rammed in my asshole every single fucking game. Now, hopefully, they nerf this gun some more, and as long as Infinity Ward keeps making the game less and less camper-friendly like they kind of did in this patch, and if they bring out some remastered maps, then we will be able to play this game on some good maps, and it'll be a much more enjoyable experience. Because right now, in its current state, the biggest problem with this game has to be the maps. The maps are too camper friendly. Like, if we had this same exact game with all its issues, the 7.25, everything, but we could play it on some classic Infinity Ward maps like, say, Resistance, Dome, Hardhat, High Rise, Crash. Honestly, at this point, I'll take fucking Derail and fucking Downturn in this game. I'd rather play that than fucking Piccadilly, if I'm gonna be honest with you guys. And that's going to be it for me today, guys, so thank you so much for watching the video. Let me know what you think about it down in the comments below, as well as what you think of the Shoot House map and this patch in general. But other than that, leave a like on the video if you enjoyed, hit the subscribe button, follow my Twitter, which is linked down in the description below, and I will see you guys on the next video. Peace.